everyone, welcome again to another week of Dietitian Life. As you know, each week we talk about what we've done in the last week or two, challenges we've faced, some stuff we've learnt and other stuff along the way. Hope you enjoy. So Peter, what did you do this week?
I've been fighting off a cold this week. Sometimes get a little bit run down, particularly when you're seeing clients kept up all night with my 1-year-old and trying to burn the candle. So what have I done this week? So I've been working really hard on NDIS registration. It's mammoth. If you ever try to do it, I recommend paying someone to do it because it's ridiculous.
I am paying someone to do it.
Yeah, worth every dollar. We've established that. So we've registered for every single state in Australia, and that's why it's probably taken me a really long time. It has been a mammoth document, but I'm getting there gradually. So that's been part of it. At the moment, I've been drawing up policy documents and making a lot of stuff up to support what we're doing. Obviously stuff that
So what kind of documents do they need?
So Tyson has written a lot of them. I'm just dividing it all up and writing others. So cultural awareness. So cultural awareness and competency documents, policy, procedure manuals, risk management, strategies, business plans. Tyson's written a lot of that again because he's really good with words on paper.
not talking though, just words on paper.
So that's what I've been doing in relation to NDIS. Also calling up, chasing up, registering the portals, making sure that our admin staff have the right information to be able to process payments. So, it is reasonably complex and there's a lot of systems in place, a lot of documents to read. Had questions relating to practitioners being able to see clients via Zoom consultations as well.
So video conference consultations.
So I'm yet to discover whether that actually is allowed or not, and I don't believe it would be because at the end of the day, the service provider should be in the area. So whilst they may provide travel, and that's an option, I think by the sounds of it, it's best to probably be a one-on-one, particularly for these guys. But the guidelines aren't completely clear, and that's what I found through the whole process, is that it's very open for discussion.
So what's been the biggest challenge?
Pretty much summarising what we do, and the inconsistencies. So state by state, they have different policies and procedures in place for going, yep, cool, you're sweet.
Had to write a fire policy.
Yeah, and what we do in disaster. So particularly South Australia, we've decided to scrap that one. It's
for the moment.
Massive. Yeah. I've been doing a self-assessment tool for a self-assessment matrix, for Victoria. Victoria is pretty big as well. And it goes through anything from governance to participation to inclusion to rights, responsibilities. It's ridiculous. And then essentially you've got to then go, all right, well, what documents do we have in place to support this dot point? And then what are we doing about it from an evaluation point of view? What are we doing it from a quality assurance perspective? And then how we're going to make sure we actually implement it. And there's about 5 different sections, and that's based on the Charter of Rights that they've decided. So,
how long have you been working on the NDIS?
A very long time.
Ballpark?
Well, if I was working on it 100% and that was what I was dedicating my time to, I probably would have smashed it out in a month. I reckon. 5 days a week.
Any help?
Yeah. I reckon.
Okay. And how long has it taken?
4 to 5 months. Yeah, on and off. So, because you had to register for NDIS via the portal, which is on Proda. If you don't know what Proda is, get on it, understand it. That is the only way that you can actually create a service agreement, see someone, do your invoicing and your billing, etc., and all of the participants are on the NDIS portal, and that's the way in which they actually put their plans on and say who they want to see and how they want to spend their money. So it's really important that you have an awareness of that, and particularly as a private practitioner, you need to register with Proda. So it's a big one. And so once you've registered yourself on there, you created a business then you obviously then have to upload all your documents, and then those documents need to be accepted from the state. Once they've accepted from the state, then you move on to your next protocol, which is uploading and continue to upload all the rest of the documents, and they're all state-based. And so, it's like stepwise, so that's why it takes a long time. And so you've got to wait until you get those ticks before you can move on to the next one.
So that's your week.
Oh yeah, no, I saw some clients as well. Yeah, I saw a lot, quite a few guys on Wednesday. And then today I had a meeting with some EPs, and that was really good. Nice to chat about what we can do, potentially try and organise some marketing with them in a couple of weeks' time. And now we're here. I've been counselling Tyson for his week in Vic. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, supporting you through your week.
Talked about my week, yeah.
Yeah, but that's been my week so far.
So my week pretty much been in Victoria. Well, I haven't been in Victoria till this morning. Since last Saturday. Yeah, was it Saturday or Sunday?
No,
anyway,
on Sunday.
Anyway, don't know the days. So this week was pretty much setting up a lot of the new practitioners over there, training 5 new ones and shadowing 4 other dietitians that are down there. So
what's shadowing mean?
Okay. Yeah, so shadowing is me literally sitting in the consult with the dietitians and just getting a feel for how the dietitian does their work, and then whether or not I can assist them in any way, shape or form based on my experience and what I read from the client, as well as the communication that the dietitian was giving, as well as the education and also the planning, basically encompassing from building rapport to actually giving things like diet-disease relationship or covering a complex topic or talking about medications or XYZ.
The client's generally pretty good with having you sit in.
Yeah. We always ask prior to going in whether or not it's okay, but I don't think there's ever been a client that's like, nope. A lot of them joke about it. It's like, oh, no, I don't
I've had
want
one.
Not everyone likes you though. I have an issue, but...
So the only time that I've had someone say no is if they're struggling mentally, and they've obviously made that really good connection with that dietitian only, and they don't want somebody else to come in. They're feeling a bit overwhelmed. Yeah. But they've had ongoing issues. Yeah. With that. So.
Yeah. And those clients, especially clients like in other work where there's disordered eating or eating disorders, I would never do work shadowing really too much in that space, or even if we had students or other dietitians, it's really difficult to get. I guess I just don't feel comfortable doing it in private practice space. It doesn't allow the practitioner to kind of connect as well with the client sometimes, and also the client being able to talk about it. It's harder for them to talk to one person, let alone having 2 sometimes.
So how do you manage that? So say for example, I had you coming in and you were sitting and watching me. Would you position yourself in a certain way? Would you just sit there and hide? Like, how would you try and manage that?
Depends. So you try and stay out of the consultation, so not kind of in direct view a lot of the time, but you're still there. Whether or not you communicate depends on the client, and if they draw you into the conversation, obviously communicate. Don't just be a brick wall. They'd be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy in the corner?
It's also kind of cool in that way, because then the client has the opportunity to kind of play off all of you, and that can be really good, particularly in the initial relationship building phase. Yeah,
and it's usually pretty fun, and I'm someone that likes a bit of banter, and a lot of the clients that we have a bit of that, so it's always good. And I don't think there's ever been a real negative experience from it, as long as you stay professional and throughout it, while also being a normal person. If you're too rigid and structured, then I guess it's just in private practice in general. As a practitioner, if you're like that, people aren't going to relate to you as well.
How does a dietitian cope?
They stress.
Really?
Yeah, they don't particularly enjoy it. I guess prior to, they're always nervous. Especially.
How do you calm them down?
You can't.
Small nip of spirits before they go in.
No. I'm professional.
Professional, sorry.
So how do I prepare them? They know at the end of the day that I'm there to assist them and to help their professional development. So most dietitians, I think it's just our breed, kind of always want to be better at it always. So I welcome other people with maybe more experience or a different viewpoint to give them assistance. So, but in that instance, if it's myself being their boss or their manager, sometimes that can be a bit scary because they don't want to do the wrong thing and they feel like, oh, I'm inadequate, that kind of stuff. But once they get rolling and it happens, then they realize it's not such a stressful thing and it was actually fine. Once you actually start talking to the client as a dietitian, you kind of forget that your manager or your boss is there and you just let stuff happen. That being said, there are those times where the practitioner might be faced with a question that they don't particularly know the answer to, and then that adds more stress because then they feel like they should be able to answer it, and I'm sitting there like waiting for them to answer it.
Dietitian life.
Dietitian life, yeah. So perfectionistic, one of the, yeah. And I guess for me, I don't expect them to have the right answer all the time or know absolutely everything, but it's about whether or not they're able to like react to that question in the right way to allow the client to still have confidence in themselves. So if they would ask something they didn't know, just saying, oh, you know, and just clarifying what they actually said, maybe finding out where they heard that, get as much information as you can around that question and then go, look, I don't particularly know, I don't want to have a guess at it, so I'm going to just do some research and then I'll get back to you, whether it be by email or the next appointment. And most clients are pretty happy with that because then they know that you're going above and beyond to actually find them the answer.
And you enjoy shadowing?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I like helping as much as I can.
So how often are our team shadowing, like our practitioners?
Well, it depends on the practitioner, their experience and their skill, I guess, coming on, but then also availability of myself or another manager to shadow them. But most of the time, we try and do monthly when they first start for a couple of months, and then depending on the practitioner, whether or not you push that out further or you do more shadowing, it's kind of on a case-by-case basis. And then, and given that we are nationwide, we still try and do that as much as we can. But if not, we're still in contact all the time anyway.
And how awesome is it to see the growth and the change over time? So I had this experience only just a couple of months back with some of the practitioners that we've got because I decided to have a child in between. I definitely didn't do a lot of shadowing for them early on. Tyson did. And it was just amazing to see the significant improvement in their skills, not only clinically, but also the management of client, things that might come up, and then how you then run and manage and facilitate the consult. So that for me is awesome, and I guess that's a big part of what we do, and it's really nice to sort of see that. And obviously then what we're doing is making a difference to our staff over a long period of time. They might see it as being a stress initially and something that they don't really want to be a part of. They want to run away and hide, but I mean, obviously we're all used to that. In uni, when we've got people actually watching us all the time, and then some people feel that when they get let loose, that shit, what am I going to do now? I'm not qualified. So they do like that maybe in the beginning, and then to have someone come along and put a different perspective on it can sometimes be challenging. However, it's the end goal is in focus. It's just want to make it better.
Be better.
And even ourselves too. So I know as managers, we probably don't have enough people sit on us. Tyson hasn't sit on me yet, ever. No. Yes. But at the end, no, I'm not in here enough. I don't work.
Okay.
Yeah. But certainly our managers have sat in on each other and vice versa. And I do have someone coming and sitting on me. One of my managers in a couple of weeks actually.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
So you can critique shit out of it.
That's right. So, but at the end of the day, we can all add value, and Tyson likes to be reminded of his value in the company on a regular basis.
Oh my god.
Ah, yes.
Jesus Christ. I don't think that's the case, but whatever.
Particularly when you don't have your hands seeing clients all the time. So it is really, really good to have that, to be part of it. And certainly when you are the boss, it's really important to come down and make sure that you are sort of seeing everybody and make everyone feel welcome, and certainly that they're there, we're there to obviously support them. Yeah.
I guess we're kind of in a good space at the moment that we're still young in terms of in the profession, that we aren't that far away from new grads, and we kind of still remember exactly how it is, exactly how it feels, and can, affirm their feelings and kind of prepare them for what's going to happen, and also de-stress them around like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm doing, I've got so much to do, I don't know anything, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, yeah, but in a month you're going to be killing it, and you're going to be like, oh, what else can I learn? There's a massive learning curve when you come out. Like, you're a dietitian, but when you're by yourself, like Peter said, and you don't have a placement supervisor just on your neck all the time, you start to think like, oh, am I doing the right thing? And then when a person being there every single day is not realistic, but it's also completely inappropriate, because it won't give you the opportunity to actually do it yourself and answer questions yourself.
Get results.
Get better, results yourself, without having thought in your head like, oh no, it was only because Tyson was there, it was only because Peter was there that I got that. So I think that's good as well. And yeah, for me, in terms of my value, I don't need to hear it, but it is good to be able to
grassroots,
No, to have an impact at that level and be able to see things that they may not have seen, and give them insight into how they may come across, whether it be body language or language in general, and communication to that client, because I think that's something that I'm good at, is reading people, and both the practitioner and the client, and being able to help in that way. It seems that every dietitian that comes out, especially everyone that applies for a job, thinks they're good at building rapport. It's not the case.
Everyone can talk to each other.
Yeah, you can talk to people, but that's different to building rapport.
A big one is what you said though, reading.
Yeah, and it's reading the other person. That's the only, not the best way. It's not the only way. You can certainly learn it a little bit, but I think some of it's just ingrained in life. The couple always kind of been someone that analyzes just about everything, to a fault sometimes probably, but that's definitely helped me as a practitioner, and it's helping me now as a manager. So I think if you don't have that skill, or you feel like you can't read people, or you get into awkward situations a lot, then it's just something that I think getting shadowing off a practitioner, a few different practitioners even that you kind of look up to or you think are really good, would be a good idea to kind of see whether there is something that you're doing that you can change to be better.
Particularly if you have difficult clients, or someone that's not responding normally, or has cancelled, or doesn't want to come back and see you, and things like that. Sometimes I've definitely had those over my time, and I'm like, shit, what did I do wrong there? Like, why isn't that working? And I guess I would have liked to have then had someone to come in and say, okay, I did this terribly. So that would have been good, and you do your own self-reflection, but I certainly did not have any of that support early on when I left, and certainly would have probably improved and sped me up a little bit faster. But also what we have too within the company, which is really nice, is people that have been with us now for 12 months, if not longer than that, to be able to give their perspective on how to do things and what it's going to be like in another 12 months. And that buddy up partnership is really, really cool. So.
What else did I do this week?
Drive.
Yeah, we did a lot of driving, did a lot of marketing.
Did you do it yourself?
No, so... No. I've kind of maybe flew my brother to Melbourne on the second day to help me drive, just so that I could actually do work in the car, because there's a lot going on, and when I'm away for that extended period of time, like 4 days extended period of time, but I can't, like if I'm driving all day, I've got no opportunity to actually get through all the emails that I do every single day.
Yeah, so how many emails come through when you're on a day-to-day basis?
Let's count the emails. Everyone mind themselves. We might speed up this right now for a second. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Tyson sent me 5 within a 5-minute interval this morning just to give you some idea of how much comes through. And when he was away, it was like a flood. It was a tsunami, and they were coming through to me hard and fast. So
there's been 52 today on Fuel Your Life. I've got 3 other emails. There's 52 today, and it's 4:14 p.m. Yeah, that's one email. So that's what I want to. The other ones are a bit quieter than Fuel Your Life, but
do you have to respond?
I've actually deleted a lot that I didn't have to respond to. So the only ones that are there, the ones I had to respond to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's another 14 for Sunshine Coast Dietetics. And then correct nutrition is usually pretty cruisy for me because we've got good systems in place, and I've kind of not worked within that for a little while. So there's only 3, so we're good there. But that's what, like 75?
Yeah.
Today?
That's not enough.
It's not enough. Like, there's definitely.
Surely they'll come through another 30 tonight.
Oh, yeah. Like by the time we finish this video, there'll be more. And then more tonight. But it's whatever. It's my life. But yeah, that's pretty much why I had to get driver. Otherwise, I come back and then I have to work for like 9 days just to catch up on the 4 days that I was away, which is just hard. So then you're always chasing your tail. So this time, it's the first time I've ever done that. It was good, but I'm always one for not spending company money. So I don't know if I'll do it again, but yeah, it was.
You had pretty cool meetings though as well.
I did have cool meetings. I did have some cool meetings. One especially with Karen Inge. She's a boss dietitian. Look her up if you don't know her name. You should. It's like 30 plus years experience in our industry. Boss sports dietitian, owns a multitude of other things as well. So yeah, that was really good. Just not really to talk about anything in general. Just she invited me to have a chat to her when I was at the SDA conference. So yeah.
So making connections like that are probably quite important.
Yeah, look, I think they are. I don't think they're essential. I don't really have any contacts that have necessarily helped me along. It's more about.
No, I don't agree with that.
But in the industry, it's more me seeking outside.
Yeah, but
I've gone like, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, they have for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of a lone wolf a little bit. But,
yeah. But no, I still think it's valuable.
Oh yeah, it's definitely valuable to like, and I think
have friends in high places.
Do it the right way though. Don't be sucking up ass to everyone because it comes across really fake. I know if someone contacts me and I can pretty much weed you out immediately, even if it's from an email.
Yeah, so I'm not talking, being friends with them on Facebook or, stalking their LinkedIn profile on a daily basis. I'm talking, okay, have your people, if there's dietitians in your area or potentially dietitians that you really value or you think obviously that you could add value to them, definitely send them an email, make a connection. At the end of the day, you haven't lost anything. If not, you may have made a friend and someone you can bounce ideas off.
Yeah, and most people in the industry are pretty nice. That was my phone.
On fire.
So, what was I saying? Yeah, people in the industry are pretty nice in general. So most of them are quite welcoming to that, depending on their time. So, yeah, reach out. It's not always going to work out, but most people will get back to you at some point. But yeah, it's about that adding value thing. If you're just asking, it's probably not going to work out as well in terms of building a relationship. You can make a connection, but actually having a relationship is how you will get something out of that connection. And it might not be for 10 years, but I've got other people in the industry that I've met randomly that we now chat semi-regularly, and then that might lead to business opportunities in the future. So especially in private practice, but even outside of that, like you never know the people that you went to uni with, where they're going to end up. They could end up being a director of, the Mater Hospital, for example, like a big tertiary hospital, and then you can get a job there. Or, you've got connections when they jump to something else, and then...
It's all about who you know, it really is. It doesn't matter how many times.
Yes.
I reckon. And certainly where I come from is a small town.
But I hate who you know, because I never knew anyone. So I absolutely hate it. I always hate it. I don't know anyone. I don't have any jobs because I never knew anyone. Did everything off. And it sounds like I'm a little snarky teenager, but...
No, not at all.
But I did. I hated that. Missed out on jobs because I didn't know anyone. So yeah, sure, know people. It's definitely going to help. And you'll be in the forefront of people's mind. I know people who have, done work experience with us, and I've talked about it a lot outside of this on LinkedIn and stuff around, if you do work experience with someone, they're going to have you in the forefront of their mind if you do good work. And
who you know is important, yes, but also if you do good work and you get somewhere with that, then obviously it doesn't really matter. You'll get to be known eventually. So
yeah, but I never wanted to be known. Because
bad luck. It's done now.
That's why my name isn't the name of my business. Tyson Nutrition.
My sister thought your last name was Murdoch or something random. Yeah.
Murdoch.
Yeah. Yeah, for the business awards. Oh yeah, that's one thing that we got going this week. Can you tell them about that?
About business awards.
So Sunshine Coast Dietetics.
Oh yeah, it was nominated for Australian Small Business Award. So this, the next few weeks, getting people to vote. So it's just something, additional. Don't know if we'll win. Unlikely, let's be honest. But just because we're small fry in the scheme of Australian businesses, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's something cool that's happening at the moment. Other stuff I've done this week. Pretty much Melbourne was it. Marketing, work shadowing, meetings, training, and team social. Drinking beer and eating a burger.
And lots of walking.
With the team. Decent amounts of walking. Not a lot more driving than walking, but week in a nutshell.
This is the end.